Why can't you offend Gemini? Gemini is a sign that embodies duality, variability, and a sincere desire for diversity. These are people who live at the intersection of two worlds. On the one hand, they are incredibly sociable and inquisitive, and on the other, they can be deeply contradictory and unpredictable. Gemini, as a rule, does not like consistency and routine, but they still appreciate a real and deep relationship, even if at first glance it is not obvious. Despite their outward lightness and ability to adapt to any circumstances, Gemini has a fragile inner nature that is easy to offend, and if you decide to hook their feelings, the consequences can be unpredictable. The duality of Gemini's character. The main feature of Gemini is their internal conflict between the desire to be light, lively, and relaxed, on the one hand, and the need for deeper, sometimes difficult experiences, on the other. Gemini lives in a world where everything changes, where every new acquaintance or information brings something new. This zodiac sign is the epitome of change, transformation, and growth. They are active, funny, and multitasking people who are often able to talk with anyone on any topic, create an atmosphere of fun and lightness. They are able to be the soul of the company, and in their company, people feel relaxed and free. But there is something much deeper behind this bright and multifaceted personality. In their lives, Gemini may face constant internal conflicts when they need to choose between different directions, people, or lifestyles. At this point, they become vulnerable. Gemini does not always know how to make decisions correctly, and this process of choice can be extremely painful for them. When someone finds a way to hurt their feelings, it can lead to internal discord that they may not always be able to express openly. Gemini's sensitivity. Judging by their natural lightness and sociability, it may seem that the twins do not pay attention to the little things, that they are always ready to embark on new adventures without looking back. However, despite their brightness, and sometimes even superficiality, Gemini is very sensitive and receptive to the emotions of others. Their affections are sincere, and they want to see people's support and recognition. Gemini, like any other sign, wants to be understood and appreciated, but they are not always ready to show their vulnerability. When someone hurts their feelings, they don't immediately open up to it. And although Gemini can quickly change the subject of a conversation or steer the conversation away, a storm of emotions can boil inside them. Outwardly, they often seem carefree, but inside their feelings can be much more intense than they are willing to show. They may feel misunderstood or underestimated, and this moment may leave a mark on their soul. The twins' instant reaction. Despite their tendency towards outward lightness, Gemini are people who are not afraid to express their emotions when it comes to their personal boundaries. They don't tend to stay silent for long when they are offended. If someone decides to hurt their feelings, Gemini will react quickly, often with unexpected directness. Their reactions can be sharp, abrupt, and even cold at first glance. But behind this outward coldness lies a deep wound that can leave lasting traces. In such cases, they may become more withdrawn and detached, taking their time to share their experiences with other people. Sometimes they may even start acting as if what happened doesn't matter, just to protect their vulnerability. But in fact, such events sink into their soul and can manifest themselves later in the form of emotional coldness or distancing from those who caused pain. Gemini does not like conflict, but if they feel that they have been violated, they will defend themselves, and they can do it quite subtly. Their reaction may be unexpected because the twins are used to a variety of ways of interacting with the world. They can escape from the problem, or, on the contrary, express everything that has accumulated in their soul. They will not seek small compromises. It is important for them to feel that their opinion matters, that their perception of the world and their feelings have been heard. Lightness and hidden depth. One of the main reasons not to offend Gemini is that they have the ability to hide their true depth behind a facade of lightness. They can be great actors who can mask their true feelings. They are often open and sociable, but there may be a whole world of experiences inside them that few people see. This is their hidden depth. This is their self-defense mechanism, their way of coping with personal conflicts and internal problems. However, if someone hurts their pride or personal values, Gemini feels insulted and begins to discover their hidden side, the side they usually keep under lock and key. And although Gemini can be silent for a long time, if something bothers them, there comes a point when they can no longer hide their emotions. It is then that their reaction can become extremely unexpected and strong. The importance of recognition for Gemini. For Gemini, the moment of recognition is extremely important. If someone offends or ignores them, Gemini begins to feel that they are not appreciated, that their efforts have not been noticed. This causes them to feel an inner emptiness, which they often try to fill with new experiences and people. Gemini really appreciates the support and understanding. They want to be noticed for who they are, and if that doesn't happen, they feel deeply disappointed. For them, not only words are important, but also actions that show that they are appreciated. Gemini may lose interest in a person if they feel that they do not understand their importance or are not ready to accept them for who they are. For Gemini, there is nothing more devastating than feeling ignored or not being taken seriously. This exacerbates their internal struggle between lightness and depth. The consequences of resentment for you. If you decide to offend Gemini, be prepared for the fact that it will not pass without a trace. Gemini may be silent and not immediately express their dissatisfaction, but their resentment may gradually grow. They may pull away from you, stop taking the initiative in communication, or even start acting in a way that makes you feel that something is wrong. Gemini can distance themselves from someone who offended them without trying to justify themselves or clarify their point of view. Their silence will be a sign that they are disappointed and ready to move on. They may stop looking for common topics to talk about and perhaps even start avoiding communication. Gemini does not forgive if they feel that their inner peace has been violated. Their mental wound can take a long time to heal, and you will not be able to return the harmony that was before. How not to offend the twins. To avoid offending Gemini, it is necessary to adhere to several simple but important principles. Be sincere and open. Gemini values sincerity and honesty in a relationship. They don't like hypocrisy and duplicity. If you don't approve of something, say it directly, but do it with respect. Don't ignore their feelings. Even if Gemini seems cheerful and easy, it doesn't mean they don't worry. If you see that they are upset, pay attention to it and let them know that their feelings are important to you. Don't manipulate them. Gemini does not like to be manipulated. This can make them feel like they are being used, which will eventually lead to a breakup of the relationship. Respect their freedom and independence. Gemini values their freedom and does not like it when their opinions are imposed on them or attempts to control their actions. Be attentive to the little things. Gemini appreciates attention to detail. If you want them to feel important, show that you've noticed something that matters to them. Gemini is a person with incredible inner strength and depth, hidden behind the external lightness. They value sincerity and openness, and their feelings may be deeper than they allow themselves to show. If you decide to offend Gemini, be prepared for the consequences. His resentment may drag on, and a break in communication may come as a surprise to you. It is best to build a relationship with Gemini based on honesty, respect, and mutual recognition, and then they will open up to you in their best light.